Rush Duel is a fast-paced spin-off game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can summon as many monsters as you want and draw up to 5 cards each turn. In this series, me and the TheDrAlex progress through each Rush Duel product release and build decks with whatever cards were available at that time. We have been drafting characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime and have exclusive access to those characters' boss monsters, and will continue to draft characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush series. Join us as we continue to battle it out in this series, Rush Duel Character Draft. The Over Rush pack introduces Cyber Dragon to Rush Duels, including Proto Cyber Dragon, Cyber Twin Dragon, Cyber End Dragon, and Power Bond as a new legend card. Further support for the Cyber Dragon archetype has been created exclusively for Rush, like the Cyber Rush Dragon, a new fusion monster made from 2 Cyber Dragons that can special summon a machine from your hand, Cyber Assault Dragon that can destroy a level 8 or lower monster with 2400 or more attack, Cyber Stealth Dragon that gains 2000 defense and can't be destroyed by monster effects if you have a Cyber Dragon engraved, to name a few. This set also introduces a new Fire Fiend archetype revolving around maximum monsters, the Blaze Fiends. Doomblaze Fiend Overlord, Despairation, is made of 3 level 10 monsters, cannot be destroyed by spell or trap cards, stops either player from special summoning level 7 monsters, prevents your opponent from setting monsters, and can discard 2 maximum cards to destroy 1 card on the field and draw 2 cards. Blaze Fiend Overlord's Bila Kataroth is made up of 3 level 4 monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle with normal monsters, becomes level 10, cannot be destroyed by traps, gains 600 attack, and inflicts piercing damage. The last major archetype introduced is the Executes, a series of level 6 monsters of varying types and attributes that revolve around having other level 6 monsters and weaken high level monsters. There are also some new support cards for existing archetypes, such as Jointex Decocilus for Earth Machines, HDD 100 Divine Dragon for Dragons, Finalize Phoenix for Pyro, Destroyer of Dragon Sorcerers for Spellcasters, Yami Ruler the Dark Delayer Supreme Soldier Spear for Fiendish Commanders, Can ID for Psychic, Beast Gear Emperor Glider Fox for Beast Warriors, Rage Wrecker Dragon Anger Rogue for Dinosaurs, Almastra 11 Aquarius for Light Galaxy, and Void Velgir Apocalypse for Dark Galaxy, who can gain 1000 attack, effect destruction immunity, and bring back the new legend card from grave to hand, Dark Hole. I will be taking the Cyber Dragon cards, Glider Fox, Jointex Decocilus, Yami Ruler Supreme Soldier Spear, Anger Rogue, and Destroyer of Dragon Sorcerers. Alex will be taking Doomblaze Fiend Dragon Despairation, 100 Divine Dragon, Finalize Phoenix, Can ID, Aquarius, and Void Velgir Apocalypse. So this is the deck we're bringing to today's game. This is Dinosaurs. So specifically, we have one brand new dinosaur from the Overrush pack. That is our Rage Wrecker Dragon Anger Rogue. So if we have another face-up dinosaur type monster on our field, we can send the top card of our deck to the graveyard. All face-up monsters with the highest attack on your opponent's field lose attack equal to the defense of the face-up monster with the highest defense on your field until the end of the turn. So if Alex, for example, gets out 3 monsters that have the same attack, we can weaken all of them by a ton, which will be at least 1600, which should be enough to get over them. Now this card can be very good, especially if Alex is on maximums, because being able to reduce their attack is one of the best way to deal with maximum monsters. So for the rest of the deck, we're on 3 copies of Megazowla. This is in here basically just to be summoned off of our other big boss monster, Super King Rex. We're on 3 copies of Urubi, 3 copies of Celebrontosaurus, 3 copies of Gracosaurus. Again, these are normal monsters, so they all work with Super King. Super King 2500 can bring back a level 6 or lower normal monster from the grave. Generally, it's just kind of a bit mindless beatdown and swarm, but that usually do get the job done. We're only on the 1 copy of Zenny Gabazals because we're playing a lot of tribute monsters. We didn't really want more than 10. We're on 2 copies of Unfulfilled Goblin. This is in here because we are on the Upstart Goblin for our Upstart King Rex. So hopefully this will kind of have an interesting little combo. If Alex is playing the level 8 or lower monsters, we can use this to pop one and weaken another one of his monsters. 3 copies of Mechtheriziniraptor just for filtering, and then the Upstart King Rex before. This is also half of our fusion, and by its own effect can still let us draw a card and then get our Upstart Goblin back, which basically lets us draw another card, so it can be very, very powerful. The 3 copies of Fusion to go into our Fusion, the Hyper Upstart King Rex. 3 copies of Jurassic World, just because our monsters, although they are decently strong, they still can get overrun, so Jurassic World just tries to prevent that, and because it does give a defense boost, it does have synergy with Anger Rogue. 3 copies of Ascending Evolution. This card basically can make one of our high-level dinosaurs gain 1500 attack and give it destruction prevention for the turn, and then 3 copies of dynamic pressure. Again, really good against maximums because it reduces attack. We can shuffle 3 dinosaurs from graveyard into deck, reduces all monsters on your opponent's field attack by 1000 attack. Can be very, very powerful. So Hyper Upstart King Rex. So we can place 1 dinosaur type monster from our graveyard to the bottom of the deck. That he gains 700 attack, which is 35, which is very high. Combine that with something like a dynamic pressure, and we can get over things that are 4500 attack. Very, very good. And if we have Upstart Goblin in the graveyard, we can add a spell from our graveyard to our hand. We probably won't need any of these, except maybe the Upstart Goblin itself, but it still can be a useful effect. So in the side, we're on 2 more Zenny Gebazals in case we feel like we just need a bit of extra power. And at the third unfulfilled Goblin, just in case. We're on 2 just decently statted dinosaurs in case we feel like we just want to move the ratios around, just have a few more normal summoned monsters. 2 copies of Ancient Barrier in case Alex on a lot of destruction traps. Our anti-maximum cards here is Judgment of the Rising Light and Card Devastation. This little combo can just out maximums sometimes. And then 3 copies of Crisis at the Sacred Tower. Again, this card has been really good for us, and it is a generic trap, and it doesn't destroy. There are a lot of cards now that have destruction immunity, so we're going to play Crisis at the Sacred Tower just in case. So that's the deck. We are feeling middlingly confident. We generally have quite a good win rate on dinosaurs, and we have specifically avoided using the maximum here because we want to show off Anger Rogue and not just summon Dino Carriage and try and win that way. So let's fire into the game and see what Alex has got for us. So this is actually quite an exciting one. We've just got the new set, the Overrush pack, but I don't know if you found this. The set seems to be very monster heavy and not very spell trap heavy.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's interesting. Not get so many more generic spell traps.
Yeah. So it's a weird one because in Rush, I feel like you will always be using a lot more monsters than spell traps anyway. I mean, a lot of the time you'll be running something like 28, 29 monsters. And because of that, you want to have more monster options, I guess. But at the same time, without more interesting spell trap cards for our current existing decks, it does mean it means that I think a lot of our decks going forward still might be a bit samey. Now obviously there are a lot of cards from this set which will kind of be their own decks, like the whole Cyber Dragon thing, the Executees, the Doom Blaze Fiends, I think they're called. Blaze Fiends, they might be called. So they feel a bit self-contained, but then there are some other interesting boss monsters just for a different kind of variety of decks that won't necessarily feel super impactful. Like last set we got a couple of like equip spells and it's like, oh yeah, you can chuck this equip spell into this deck, but it's just kind of that deck with the equip spell. I feel like some of the decks that we're playing now will be just kind of that deck but with a new monster.
Yeah,
I don't think that's necessarily a terrible thing. It just means there won't be a ton of variety, and I don't know about you, but I really like variety when I'm playing big card games.
yeah.
But let's fire in. I think I'll be playing something that you probably aren't expecting, and I really don't know what you're going to be playing. So
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
I will go first.
Okie dokie.
And ooh, this is this. Activate Heavenly Gift.
Okay.
To draw 2.
Overlord Desperation.
Mm.
A little 1200 attack.
There we go. Right, whoop.
Send a face-up Fiend monster to the graveyard. Add a level 10 Fiend Max monster from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. And we're just summoning the 2500 attacker. Okie dokie. So this guy can send 2 max monsters from your hand to the graveyard, destroy 1 card on your opponent's field, then this card is a maximum, you draw 2 cards. Okie dokie. I suppose I will start by firing off Upstart Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
This hand is not the greatest in the world. It's not terrible though. It's not terrible. I will normal summon Gracosaurus. I will tribute it to summon out Megazowler. I will summon out Uraby. Then we will set 2 cards and pass the turn.
Okay. Let's see. Cobalt Kobold.
Okay.
We will activate its effect to pitch and draw.
Mm-hmm.
Set a back row. Summon out Rage Serpent.
Okay.
Tribute 2 for Doomblaze left.
You know this isn't how you summon a maximum, right? You're supposed to...
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you have a 2300 attack that cannot be destroyed by traps.
A defense. Go to battle. And see what you've...
And
Okay.
Alright. Draw a new hand. Ooh, that is really not ideal. I could do this. Unfortunately, it doesn't work against what you've got. In which case, what is the strat? Right, well, either way we're going to activate this. I need this out of my hand. I think we then basically have to just set 2 and then set another back row and pass.
Okay. Flip up. Blaze feet left.
Okie dokie.
You will activate return. Bring back left.
Okay. So are we maximing? Okay, no.
Without Cobalt. Use his effect to pitch. Draw. It's an unfortunate draw.
Well, I think you're in an okay position at the moment regardless.
Set. Activate Desperation.
Ooh, we are just getting rid of maximum cards.
And get rid of that.
Got rid of Dynamic Pressure.
Good battle. Swing.
Yeah, that's fine. Got my Unfulfilled Godman and Mech Therizoraptor.
Okay.
Okay. I suppose if I put these in defense, you just get to walk over them. So we're gonna summon out Urubi, summon out Celebrontosaurus, and summon out Celebrontosaurus. Set a back row, go to battle, and I suppose we'll attack with our biggest, try to get some life point damage in. And that's all we got at the moment.
Need to clear some room on my board. So activate Heavenly Gift.
Okay.
So I can activate Pog. Activate Heavenly Gift. Draw 2.
Might deck you out at this rate.
Well, activate middle and get rid of that.
Oh, Dynamic Pressure.
Let this go to battle. Swing.
Yeah, I can't do anything about that.
And swing.
But I can do something about that.
Oh.
Dynamic Pressure. So I can get back 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, might as well activate this.
Treasure monster is destroyed. Pay 6 life points for summon to 2 level 4 or lower fight attribute maximum monsters from your graveyard. Okay, so you're getting 2 of your little babby maximum. Right, fingers crossed, some good draws. Could be worse, I suppose. Question becomes, how far do we go with this? Alright, I'm going to normal summon Upstart King Rex. I'm then going to Tribute 2 and summon out my Rage Wrecker Dragon.
Ah, this is a dinosaur.
Yes, summon Urubi, then we'll activate Rage Wrecker Dragon's effect, which will weaken your monsters that are in attack mode.
Oof.
Set 2 back row, go to battle. We'll try to get him for big dam, and then all we can do is attack these. Oh, I don't like that you have a little wait there, but we're gonna let you do it. Yeah, I expected this. That's our win con. We just keep burning you for 600.
Okay.
Up to 2 level 4 or lower. Fire attribute maximum monsters. And then we pass.
Well, I'm going to activate Corruption of the Blaze Fiends.
Okay.
Pitch and take back middle. Now I'm going to activate Corruption of the Blaze Fiend. Pitch and take back left.
Now, if you don't have the maximum summon, I would be shocked here.
I need to empty my hands, so we're going to summon out Cobalt. Use his effect. Special summon. The boy.
There he is, 4 grand attack. So you can discard 2 to destroy a card and then draw 2. You can... I cannot set cards from my hand now, so I cannot just go defensive. And cannot be destroyed by spells or traps.
Indeed. Swing.
Ow.
Actually, I probably should have swung over the Anurug.
Yeah, I can actually just keep using his effect, which is very nice.
Okay.
Alright, we'll summon out Mechtherizoraptor. Fire off its effect. Pitch to draw. I will then tribute it to summon out Megazowler. I can then fire off Anger Rogue to weaken all of your one guy.
Oh, damn.
Fire this off again, and then go battle. And oh yeah, I can only attack the one. Then I think that should be game.
Yeah, bugger.
Alright, well let's fire into game 2. Okay, we'll start with the Mighty Unfulfilled Goblin. We'll tribute it to summon out Megazowler. We'll summon out Gracosaurus, and we'll tribute those 2 to summon out Zenigabazals. And then I think I'm quite happy to pass on this. 24, not the best board I can make, but I got a lot of cards at my hand.
Well, go to the Blaze Fiends.
Okay.
Blaze Fiend overlords right.
Okay.
Tribute to Doomblaze middle.
Yeah, I think you needed exactly the middle piece to out me there, or just like a full-on maximum.
Swing.
Goodbye, Zenigabazals.
And swing.
Alright, something good. Ooh, hello. Alright, we will activate Upstart Goblin. Then I will summon out Upstart King Rex and use its effect.
Oh.
So I can then set Upstart Goblin. I will then activate Upstart Goblin. Okay, so where has this gotten us? We have a field spell. We have a Celebrontosaurus. We contribute both to summon out our Rage Wrecker, as well as summon out 2 more Celebrontos and activate Rage Wrecker. Go to battle. We'll see if we can't clear these. Then get in. Take off that 2,000 life points we gave you, and we'll pass.
Okay. Well, Pog.
Always with the Pog.
Kobold.
Okay.
Summon. Tribute.
Okay, 23. I don't have any back room.
Set this. Go to battle. Swing over.
Goodbye, Celebronto. Alright, we will, I suppose, summon out Mechtherizoraptor, fire off its effect, pitch to draw. Yeah, I suppose we're just going to tribute to summon. We'll fire off the second Jurassic World, set a back row, activate our Angero's effect, go to battle, And this might just be game, depending on what you've got here.
I can activate Resurrection.
Alright, so I clear out these, just hope you don't have another resurrection. But I don't think there's much I can do if you do, so... And then pass.
Hope for a decent draw. Yeah, that will... Yeah, we can activate this.
Okay.
Switch this to bring back this one. Get this out. You have a level 7, so I can use his effect to get...
Special summon level 10 maximum in defense mode.
Right in defense.
Now you can only attack with maximum monsters, which probably isn't too much of an issue for you. Now the question is, do you have that card that returns it to your hand from the board?
Almost summon. Tribute. Activate Genie's Fire Breath.
Ooh, okay.
I hope your back row is nothing.
It is nothing.
Ooh.
Those don't do much here. I don't think I can kill you. Wait, can I kill you? So you're on 33. I have 32 on board, so just this plus any monster does it, depending on what your back row is. If you can summon a monster from the graveyard, I can't do anything about it. So we will just see if we can just attack.
Yep, I got nothing.
Oh. Well, either way, we should definitely go for a game 3. I'm always up for more dinosaurs, and your deck seems like it has a lot of good things going on in it. It's just you need to see all the right pieces at the right time, and I think that's the problem here. Okay, this hand is doo-doo poopy bad, so I'm gonna tribute set, it could be anything, and pass back.
Well, that's better than my hand.
I mean, that could just mean you have a bunch of maximum pieces, which could be good depending on which pieces they are. Alright, we'll summon Brachosaurus. We'll tribute 2 to summon out Super King. Can activate Super King and bring back Megazawla. Go for the old Jurassic World. And then we can see if we can't get him for 28. Then we pass. Okay, well, we'll summon Therizoraptor. Use Therizoraptor to pitch. Then tribute 2 to summon out the new boy. Summon this guy. Go battle. And then, if you haven't got anything, I think that's just lethal.
Yep. 2 lefts and a right in my hand.
Yeah, that's always the problem with maximum decks, right? Is that you just have to have so many clunky bits that a lot of the time just don't actually end up doing anything useful. Because it's really cool that your deck... So your level 10 maximum has basically not the requirement that it has to be in maximum mode to get its effects. Obviously, it gets extra effects if it is in maximum, but it is cool to be able to say, well, I can just summon this guy, his attack points aren't awful, and he does have an effect. Whereas the other maximums in the game don't do that, right? Like, I think the best individual maximum piece we've had up to this point is probably the Worm Middle, and that's just because it was a 2500 attacker with no effect.
Yeah.
So having all of the level 4 maximums is pretty cool, because you can use them to tribute, you can just kind of normal summon them, throw them around, do whatever you want with them. But again, I think with maximums, you kind of want to hold on to them, right? You want to hold on to 2 pieces and then eventually draw into the rest. But it's counterproductive because you're also like, well, I need to summon something, and now I'm running 2 lots of maximums, so I've got to have something to do here.
Yeah, and a lot of their like spell trap sport does stuff with maximum monsters on the field.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not they're in maximum mode.
Yeah, like it seems like your strategy is basically to use your graveyard as a resource, like throw stuff from your graveyard back into your hand, or special summon stuff from the graveyard onto the field and then put it from the field back in the hand to give you better access to your cards. But it is really cool because a lot of the time with maximum decks, like when I was playing them, I was using Monster Reincarnation because that was my way to get maximum pieces back from the grave to the hand. But you don't have to use that because you have multiple other ways to do that built into the deck anyway, which means you're free to use something like Pot of Greed and just kind of filter through the deck a bit faster and try and find the pieces you need. But it's always going to be the problem, right? When, like we say, if you just have a few pieces, it doesn't really do anything. So I think a lot of the time in maximum decks, you just end up running a lot of draw power, which obviously you were with your Heavenly Gift, Pot of Greed, etc. Your Kobold. It seemed like he was putting in a decent amount of work. And just your middle maximum piece did do a lot in that game, even if it didn't outwardly, like, thrash everything about. Just being a 2500 attacker that can pop any card on the field was really useful, and you did get rid of 2 of my dynamic pressures, which if I didn't have the 3rd, I couldn't have stopped you from just completely piling on me in that game. So, but then my deck, the only real new card in here is the Rage Wrecker Dragon Anger Rogue, which is very, very powerful. I think realistically, I mean, dinosaurs kind of need some modern support, and we should be getting some new modern support based on what we've been seeing in the anime. But this card, I think, is just very good on its own. Just being able to weaken all of your opponent's attack position monsters is really, really good. And for the low cost of a card from the top of your deck, which a lot of the time you want to be putting cards from the top of your deck in your graveyard. I feel like this card probably should say something like discard a card from your hand to get its effect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. I think Anger Rogue is probably going to be a staple in dinosaur decks going forward. But yeah, GG, man.
GG.